question I have for you today is, what role do relationships play in aligning your team with your culture? Now, we all know that culture is the way that we do it here, and it's about getting your collective behaviours of your team aligned with that way, the way that you do it versus the way somebody else does it. But what I want to talk to you about today is relationships. Now, when we look at relationships, there are three critical foundations for being able to build a successful relationship. The first one is trust. Without trust, you actually can't have a relationship. We need to know that people trust us, and we can build that trust by trusting others. It is critical to the success of any relationship, and for us to be able to move forward knowing that they can play their role and us not have to check up on them all the time to make sure they're doing all the things that we know that they're going to do. Another critical part of trust is understanding that people come from a position of good intent. Now, what that means is occasionally people might get something wrong. They may do something that you don't like, but it's not because they didn't want to do it right. It's not because they didn't have good intent. They've just made a mistake. And when you build trust, what you do is you build that ability, almost that buffer, to allow people to make mistakes, to talk through those things and move on quickly. The second most important thing is the fact that you care. You need to care about others, and they need to care about you. You need to be able to show how you care. You need to care for them deeply. You need to understand what their needs are and how you can help them to achieve the things that they're wanting to achieve. And the third thing is commitment. You need to be committed to other people so that they can be committed to you. You need to be committed to their success. You need to be committed to the things, once again, that they are trying to achieve in their lives. These three things, trust, care, commitment, are the foundations for being able to build an outstanding relationship. Think back to the village. Think back to something we talk about often. Go back 300 years ago when we all were interdependent upon each other. Everyone in the village had a role, and everyone had to play their role. So whilst I was getting food, or I'm getting water, or I'm getting wood, I'm making shelter, I know and I trust and I believe that everybody else is doing their role. So that at the end, everyone doing their part enables all of us to have food, water, warmth, shelter, tools, clothes, all those things necessary for the success, not only of us individually, but more importantly, as a village. And that's exactly what we're trying to achieve in creating outstanding cultures in organisations. That every person doing their role, coming together, will ensure that the organisation succeeds. And when the organisation succeeds, it ensures that we all succeed as individuals. So one of the critical components of building an outstanding culture is building outstanding relationships based on trust, care, and commitment. Thank you.